Ever scrolled through social media and thought, man, I wish I could just drink my way to a healthier lifestyle?
Yeah.
Well, today we're diving into the 21-day smoothie diet
Okay.
to see if those like picture perfect results really live up to the hype.
Right.
We've got two perspectives to unpack.
Sure.
The official smoothie diet plan itself
Okay.
and a balanced analysis from Healthline
Yeah.
to see what's really shaking in the world of weight loss smoothies.
It's interesting how often our desire for quick fixes
Right.
intersects with our health goals.
Yeah.
So let's break down exactly what this diet entails
Okay.
and then examine those claims with a critical eye.
Okay. So picture this. You ditch 2 meals a day
Okay.
and swap them out with these specially crafted smoothie recipes
Uh-huh.
created by health coach Drew Skoutas.
Okay.
But it's not just about shedding pounds.
Right.
The website promises a whole body reset.
Okay.
We're talking increased energy, glowing skin, maybe even a little detox action.
And the website really emphasizes that this isn't some extreme all-liquid cleanse.
Okay.
You still get one whole food meal per day
Right.
and a couple of snacks to keep those hunger pangs at bay.
Okay.
Plus, they highlight their transition guide to help ease you back into a more sustainable routine after the initial 21 days.
They even give you a glimpse at the menu, and I have to admit, it sounds pretty tempting.
Okay.
Vibrant blends of fruits, veggies, nuts, seeds, all the good stuff.
Yeah.
Whipped up with almond milk or coconut milk.
Right.
I'm already feeling healthier just thinking about it.
Yeah.
But before we jump on the smoothie bandwagon,
Sure.
let's talk about how this whole calorie deficit thing actually works.
Right. Because the diet claims to help you lose weight by limiting your calorie intake to around 1,500 calories per day.
Okay.
So in very simple terms, a calorie deficit is when you burn more calories than you consume,
Right.
forcing your body to tap into its stored energy, which is essentially fat,
Right.
to make up the difference.
Yeah.
And while that might sound like a magic bullet for weight loss,
It can be a bit more complicated than that, all right?
exactly. While initially effective, drastically cutting calories for an extended period can actually backfire.
Okay.
Healthline uses a great analogy. They call it yo-yo dieting.
Ah, I've heard of that. It's like that inflatable tube man outside of a car dealership, up 1 minute, down the next.
Precisely. You might lose weight quickly,
Right.
but then when you go back to your regular eating habits, bam, the weight comes back.
Oh, wow.
Sometimes even more than you lost.
Wow.
Plus, consistently restricting your calorie intake can mess with your metabolism,
Uh-huh.
the process by which your body converts food into energy.
And speaking of feeling satisfied,
Yeah.
relying primarily on smoothies,
Right.
even with that one solid meal,
Yeah.
might leave some people feeling a bit underwhelmed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Our bodies and minds thrive on variety.
Right?
Imagine eating the same few things day after day. Even if they are delicious smoothies, you'd eventually crave something different, right?
Right.
And that's where this diet's long-term sustainability comes into question.
And it's not just about the physical feeling of fullness, right?
Right.
I imagine there are some nutritional downsides to consider too,
Yeah.
if you're only getting nutrients from a limited number of sources.
You're hitting on a crucial point.
Okay.
While fruits and veggies are nutritional powerhouses,
Right.
they don't contain every single nutrient our bodies need
Okay.
in the right proportions.
Right.
And that's where Healthline brings up a really interesting point
Okay.
about potential nutrient deficiencies with this diet.
Okay.
They use the green detox smoothie as an example.
Okay.
It sounds super healthy,
Right.
but it only contains a tiny amount of protein, around 5 grams to be exact.
Okay. So how much protein should a person be aiming for in a day?
Well, it depends on a few factors, like activity level and individual needs.
Yeah.
But most adults need at least 45-55 grams of protein daily.
Wow. That's a huge difference.
Yeah.
So you could be sipping on those green smoothies all day
Right.
and still be way off track. What's the big deal with protein anyway?
It's essential for a whole host of bodily functions.
Okay.
It helps build and repair tissues,
Right.
keeps our immune system strong,
Uh-huh.
and helps us feel full and satisfied after meals,
Right.
which ironically is something this diet claims to address.
And here's another ingredient split I hadn't considered.
Okay.
The Smoothie Diet website highlights all the fruits and veggies in their plan.
Yeah.
But some of those recipes use multiple servings of fruit in a single smoothie.
Right.
That's going to add up to a lot of sugar.
You're right. That's an important consideration,
Yeah.
especially for individuals watching their sugar intake,
Right.
like those with diabetes.
Sure.
While naturally occurring sugars in fruit aren't the same as added sugars.
Right.
They still contribute to your overall daily intake and can impact blood sugar levels.
It seems like there's a bit of a disconnect between the simplicity the official website presents
Yeah.
and the potential complexities we're uncovering.
Right.
It reminds me of those furniture assembly instructions
Uh-huh.
where they forget to mention you need a PhD in engineering to make it work.
It's a great analogy.
Right.
And it brings up another aspect Healthline dives into.
Okay.
The lack of scientific evidence to back up some of the Smoothie Diet's bolder claims.
Okay.
For example, the website is brimming with glowing testimonials
Right.
about rapid weight loss,
Yeah.
increased energy,
Right.
and even improved gut health.
Yeah, those before and after photos can be pretty convincing.
Yeah,
But I guess personal anecdotes aren't exactly scientific proof.
exactly.
Right.
And that's not to say those individual experiences aren't valid,
Right.
but Healthline stresses that there's no real robust research to support those claims across the board.
So we've got this potential disconnect between like personal experience and actual scientific evidence.
Right.
And it makes you wonder, what about this idea of a taste bud reset that the diet promises?
Yeah.
It sounds almost too good to be true. Like it could magically erase those late night ice cream cravings.
That's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
The website suggests that by flooding your palate with these intensely flavored smoothies, lots of sweetness from the fruits,
Right.
you can retrain your taste buds to crave less sugar overall.
Okay.
But they don't really explain the how behind this supposed reset.
So hypothetically speaking, let's say this taste bud transformation is possible.
Okay.
Could there be any downsides? Like, could constantly bombarding your system with super sweet smoothies actually make regular whole foods taste bland in comparison? I'm imagining, like, trying to enjoy a piece of fruit after weeks of these smoothies, and it's just...
It's a valid concern.
Yeah.
And it speaks to our incredible ability to adapt.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it like this. If you listen to really loud music for a long time,
Yeah.
it might make quieter sounds harder to hear afterward.
Okay.
Our taste buds aren't all that different. They can become accustomed to a certain level of intensity.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
And it makes me think about that transition guide the Smoothie Diet website mentions.
Yeah.
Even if it helps you ease back into solid foods,
Right.
wouldn't it make more sense to focus on building sustainable, healthy habits from the get-go?
Yeah.
Habits that don't require a total taste bud overhaul.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Crash diets and quick fixes rarely lead to lasting change.
Right.
It's like using a Band-Aid on a broken bone.
Yeah.
It might temporarily mask the problem,
Right.
but it doesn't address the underlying issue.
Yeah.
True nourishment is about finding a balance you can maintain for the long haul,
Right.
not just for 21 days.
Okay, so if we take a step back and look at the bigger picture,
Sure.
what are the key takeaways from our smoothie deep dive? It seems like while this diet might be tempting,
Yeah.
there are some important things to consider beyond those glossy before and after photos.
What's fascinating here is how this diet highlights our very human desire for a quick fix.
Right.
We live in a world obsessed with instant gratification,
Yeah.
and weight loss is no exception.
Right.
But as we've seen, sustainable health isn't about shortcuts.
Right.
It's about making informed choices that support our well-being for the long term.
And that's where Healthline's final takeaway really resonated with me.
Yeah.
They emphasize the importance of embracing lifestyle changes over relying on these quick fix diets.
Right.
It's about making gradual, sustainable shifts
Right.
to our eating habits, activity levels, and overall relationship with food.
It's about shifting our perspective from deprivation to nourishment.
Okay.
Instead of focusing on what we're cutting out,
Right.
what if we focused on adding in more whole foods,
Yeah.
moving our bodies in ways that bring us joy,
Right.
and prioritizing sleep?
Yeah.
These are the pillars of lasting health.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, remember that knowledge is power.
Yes.
We've explored the ins and outs of the 21-day smoothie diet. We've weighed the potential benefits and drawbacks,
Right.
and hopefully given you the information you need to make an informed decision about whether it's right for you.
Exactly.
If you are thinking about giving it a try, maybe chat with a healthcare professional or a registered dietitian to make sure it aligns with your individual needs and goals.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
And who knows, maybe this deep dive has inspired you to whip up some delicious and nutritious smoothies of your own.
Smoothies.
Just remember to keep it balanced, sustainable, and most importantly, enjoyable.